Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to Jerry's NBA Talk TV. I'm NBA Jerry, and thank you for watching. What this video is going to be about is my story on how I started first liking the NBA. I've had a lot of people ask me, who's my favorite team and things like that. And I just want to clear the air, and I'm going to tell you from start of how I started watching the NBA up until this point. Now, as most of you guys know, I'm from Rochester, New York. And for those of you that don't know, Rochester, New York does not have a team in the vicinity. We don't have an NBA team anywhere near us. The closest team that we have is the New York Knicks. New York City is 6 hours away from Rochester. That's not our hometown team. For football, it's the Buffalo Bills, and for college, it's Syracuse Orangemen and things like that. But as far as the NBA, we don't have a home team. Now, as a kid, I didn't like basketball. Up from time I was born all the way up till I was 12 years old. I didn't even watch it. Didn't watch baseball, basketball, football, anything. I was just a kid that liked to play with toys, and I was just not into sports. I like to play sports as far as like kickball and dodgeball and stuff like that. That's what I used to play. But as far as basketball, I didn't like basketball all the way up till I was 12 years old. But then when I was 13, I'll never forget, in February 1988, I was flipping through the channels, and it just so happened that the slam dunk competition was on. It was in Chicago, and Michael Jordan was in the slam dunk competition. Now, I didn't know what it was. I was just, changing the channel and put it on. And I noticed that the cameraman kept putting the camera on this one particular guy, Michael Jordan. And I was very intrigued by him, And I said, okay, let me check it out. And he was just doing some incredible things, slam dunking, and you guys seen the slam dunk competition from 1988. He was incredible. And I just liked the way he moved. I liked the way he walked. I just liked his style. And I remember saying to myself, I said, man, I want to be like him. Didn't know anything about basketball. Remember, I didn't play at all. I didn't play it. And I remember during the dunk contest, they were promoting the next day for the All-Star game. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to watch that, because I was hooked after that. I was hooked on this guy. I really wanted to pay attention to what he was doing. So the next day, which was Sunday, the All-Star game was on, and I remember that Michael Jordan didn't have his red uniform on. He had white uniform on. And I was like, what in the world? I thought he played for Chicago. And at the time, I didn't understand what was going on. And I remember the guy that won a three-point contest, Larry Bird, who had the Boston Celtics uniform on, he was on the same team Michael Jordan was on. And I didn't know what was going on. I was like, wow. Then, of course, after a while, I started to understand. But I was hooked on Michael Jordan. I was a big Chicago Bulls fan because of Michael Jordan. I wasn't a Chicago Bulls fan because of the Bulls. I was a fan because of Jordan. And I followed his career, all the way until, he retired and stuff like that. And I remember the first time he retired in 1993. I was a senior in high school. And everybody knew how I was about Michael Jordan because I was a pretty good basketball player coming up. And I would emulate him. So by the time I was 13 to 18, I was pretty much of Michael Jordan. I cut my hair bald. I can slam dunk. I'm 6'2", and at the time I was about 175 pounds, so I was pretty athletic. But I patterned my whole game after Jordan. And what happened was when he retired in 1993, everybody in my school, when I came in the next morning, it was like it was like when the Red Sea parted. When they saw me coming, I had my hood on. I never forget that I was 18 years old, and I was walking down the hallway, and everybody just spread out, and everybody was, patting me on the back like, I'm sorry, man, like my father died or something. And I was just so sad about that. I was really sad. I took it bad. So that's when I had joined the Navy. And when I joined the Navy, he came back to the NBA, which I was very happy about. And so I continued to follow Michael Jordan. He was my favorite player. And then in 1996, I started noticing Kobe Bryant. And I remember thinking, wow, he really reminds me of Jordan. So I started paying attention to him because I knew that Michael Jordan was leaving. After Jordan retired, I'm not a Bulls fan. I'm a Jordan fan, but I like the Bulls because of Jordan. I said, I got to pick a new player. And obviously I already had picked him, and it was Kobe Bryant because he reminded me so much of Jordan at the time. And I loved Kobe Bryant, back in the late 90s and early 2000s. I mean, he was my dude back then. So Lakers won the 3 championships, and plus when Phil Jackson got there, and Shaq went there because Shaq was my second favorite player behind Michael Jordan. I was like, wow, this is perfect. So I guess I became a I became a Laker fan. I know you guys are like, yeah, man, NBA Jerry, he's a bandwagoner. I mean, you can look at it way everywhere you want, but how I look at it is you can like whoever you want. But it's not like I was just jumping the teams just because they won the championships. I just like a certain player, and whoever my player is, I like that team because I want that player to win. So when Kobe Bryant, was winning championships with Shaq and stuff like that, there's a couple of things I didn't like about Kobe. He was kind of disrespecting Michael Jordan at the time, in my opinion, when he was saying that, his favorite player growing up was Magic Johnson, and he was saying different things. And I was just like, wow, the reason why I like you, Kobe, is because of Jordan, and you're not really giving him his props. So that kind of angered me. And then when the rape case went down, and he started, telling on Shaquille O'Neal about him and his women, and then when he demanded Shaq to be out and stuff like that, I started not to take a liking to Kobe. And then LeBron James came along, and I started reading about him in the 10th grade. And I liked his style. I liked the fact that he always says Michael Jordan was his favorite player. And then when I seen him play, I seen a couple highlights of him. I was like, wow, this kid's the truth. And I said, you know what? He's going to be my new favorite player when he comes to the NBA. And I never forget, I had NBA Live at the time, the video game NBA Live. I was watching the NBA Lottery in 2003, and I knew whatever team LeBron was going to, I was probably going to like that team because of LeBron. So what I did was, as soon as the Cavaliers got the number 1 pick, I went downstairs and went on NBA Live and started checking out the rosters. And I remember they had Robert Tractor Trailer, Big Z, DeJuan Wagner, players like that. So I was like, okay, it would be pretty good and stuff like that. So I started liking LeBron from 2003 all the way up until now, 2010. LeBron James has been my favorite player. But what happened was last season, at the end of the season, I started noticing a couple things I didn't like about LeBron. I like him as a player, but as a person, when he did the 1-hour decision, I didn't mind the decision as much. I just didn't like the fact of how he did Cleveland. I mean, I just didn't like the fact that the reason I like the hour decision is because it's his decision. He can do whatever he wants, and he raised money. I like that, but I just didn't like the fact that he went on national TV and basically he did his team, his organization wrong. I really felt that. So at the same time, this is when I started my YouTube channel, Jerry's NBA Talk TV. Now, obviously, I have liked to see the Cleveland Cavaliers win in the last 7 years because of LeBron. I'm not a true Cleveland Cavalier fan. I just like LeBron James, and I wanted him to win because he was my favorite player. But now he's gone. He's with Miami now, and I've had a lot of people on YouTube and in my personal life ask me, "Hey man, are you a Miami Heat fan?" Because LeBron's there, and I had to really think about that. And I watched the preseason the other day with LeBron and them. And yes, I like LeBron to see him do well and stuff like that. But I don't have the same feelings I have for him as I did in Cleveland. And plus, me being NBA Jerry now and having Jerry's NBA Talk TV and talking to all you guys, I have to be unbiased. So I've decided that I don't have a favorite NBA team because I don't. I never had a favorite NBA team. I just had favorite players. So as of right now, my favorite team is the NBA. Period. LeBron James is my favorite player to watch play. I also like to watch Kobe. I like to watch Dwayne Wade. But LeBron James has definitely, I have changed my opinion on him after he did the whole summer of 2010. I just didn't like the way he handled that. And it's hard for me to support someone that I'm not fully in agreements with what he does off the court. But I do like to watch him play. Whatever he does in his personal life really doesn't have anything to do with me. But the reason I did like him in the beginning because I thought he was a stand-up guy. He really did support Michael Jordan, and he always said that Michael Jordan was his favorite player. He wore number 23 because of him, and I felt that he was very genuine. But I think the media and all the things surrounding LeBron James has changed him since I started watching him and started originally liking him. So, like I said, he is my favorite player to watch right now, but he's not Michael Jordan. And that's where I think I've made the mistake with Kobe Bryant and LeBron James. I have tried to replace my favorite all-time player, Michael Jordan, with these guys. And I've come to realize that no one can replace him. In my opinion, he is the greatest basketball player to ever play the game. I believe he's the greatest athlete in sports history. He is and always will be my favorite player. And that is why when you come to Jerry's NBA Talk TV, you see this logo. because I feel like, in no disrespect to the NBA logo now and Jerry West, I just feel like, to me personally, he is the NBA to me. And that is why I love the NBA and watch the NBA, because of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the reason why I like LeBron and Kobe, Dwayne Wade, and all the players that I like. These three guys standing behind me is because of Michael Jordan. You know, these guys are an offspring of him. Michael Air Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time, and that is why Jerry's NBA Talk TV is what it is today. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Take care of yourselves. And don't forget, if you can believe it, you can do it. Thanks for watching. You guys know I appreciate it. And remember, folks, always, always treat people how you want to be treated, and everything will be okay. This is NBA Jerry, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.